I'd like to introduce a man that was a first-team All-Pro. I'd like to introduce a man that's a four-time Pro Bowler, and I'd like to introduce a man who has the most sacks of any interior defensive lineman in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. Can I get a round of applause, please, for Fletcher frickin' Cox? I told you.
That was good. That was good.
So, I have to start with a very serious question. What was it like growing up in Mississippi with the last name Cox? Because that had to be ridiculous.
You know what? Growing up, I mean, nobody really ever called me by my last name, but
I would have massacred you.
but now it's really taken off. Having the last name Cox, especially when you got a teammate named Chris Long. So
Right. You stand next to
it kind of makes it really fun, you know, for fans and for just for everybody to see a different side of us outside of the field. So
I'm nervous because if Chris isn't there, I don't know who you're going to stand next to on the sideline. And I thought maybe Wendell Smallwood.
Wendell, no.
I don't know. Who do you stand next to now?
I got to find somebody. If Chris, if we happen to lose Chris, then I'll still be able to find just somebody. Last name Brown.
Nice.
You know, you get Brown
well
Cox.
I didn't even think about adjectives. That's great.
So I'll be able to find somebody, and eventually people will catch on to it.
Going back to like you growing up and all that stuff, thank you, Kyle Wallace. I read that your mom did not want you to play football when you were in 8th grade, and this coach came in and said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, this kid has to play football." Is that true?
Absolutely. Kyle Wallace, he was my guy. Him and Coach Woodfalk, which was the head coach of the football team at that time, they both came to my house and sat my mom down and said, "This man needs to be on the football field, and you need to sign his paper and let him play."
Was she worried you were going to get hurt?
You know how all moms are. I don't want my baby to get hurt. He ain't big enough. At the time, I wasn't big enough. I was a toothpick. But she finally signed the papers, and now she's very thankful that she did.
I was going to say, she has to look back at the time and go, what was I thinking, right?
Yeah. She always say, and Coach always bring it up every time she see her. And we're around a bunch of people hanging out, and she every time he say, "I told you to sign those papers," and she just smiled from ear to ear. So
she's happy about it.
Yeah, very happy.
So, my good friend Dan is over there, and I was thinking, I really think if you look at the Mount Rushmore of Eagles defenders, I think you're already in the top 4. And this, I'm sorry I'm guessing, but I did it in my head, and I went, well, Reggie White's there, and Brian Dawkins is there, and I'll put Chuck Bednarik there. But then I think it's Fletcher Cox.
Oh,
and
no.
I like, sincerely.
I appreciate it.
I was like, you know what? I'm curious, how big is Fletcher? Okay, he came in, he was 6'5", 310. How big was Reggie? He was 6'5", 300. Did you ever watch him growing up? Like, who did you watch to kind of like model your game after?
Dude, I honestly, I don't even watch sports growing up like that.
I heard you say this before the Super Bowl, and it blew me away.
No, I don't. Like all my buddies and stuff want to get out together. Let's go watch a game. Let's go do this. I'm like, yeah, no, I go ride a 4-wheeler. Some y'all can have that, or I go do something else with my time. I love the game, but I do it so much, and I've never watched it growing up.
But were coaches showing you certain people like to give you guidance, or were you just love practicing? Like, how did that happen?
I mean, when I first got in, obviously. I was drafted by Eagles. I knew who Reggie White was, and I had the guys pull some tape of Reggie White, go in and just watch how he played. He was an animal, and the way he did things was physical. He worked hard, and I was just watched the way he did everything, and everybody always said good things about him. I can continue to go on about Reggie White. I mean, he's one of the greatest.
I was talking to Chris Long. This is after the Final Four. And I was talking to Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce's brother, and Travis goes, Jason's obsessed with Philadelphia. And I'm talking to Chris, and he goes, I can't play for another franchise if it's not Philadelphia. You have a bulldog, a French bulldog named Philly. What is it? Because all we ever hear is that we're too tough as fans, and nobody wants to deal with us. But what is it that you guys are just obsessed with the city right now? How has that happened?
I think the biggest thing when I first got here, when I first got drafted, the night I got drafted, you know, they were all saying that you got to have thick skin to play there. You got to have thick skin to play there. I mean, and they were telling the truth. And I tell everybody that comes in the locker room, all the new guys, no matter who it is, I said, you got to have thick skin and play in the city of Philly. And they say, why you say that? I go on and say, well, they're very passionate. They love their sports teams. And if you suck, they're going to let you know you suck. But they still love you. And if you're good, then, I mean, you get pats on the back and, everything is good. But, I mean, I think, I've only been in Philly and just talking to other players that's been from other teams. When they do come here, they do know how passionate the fans are here. And
they can feel it.
Oh, absolutely, man. Playing in the link, you gotta. I tell them if you winning, you're good. But if you get a couple touchdowns scored, you be ready for the boo.
When did you realize the first time? Oh, my skin needs to be thick. Was it an article? Was it the crowd? What was it?
I think. It was crazy. I think I was a rookie and we were playing somebody and we were losing, and all I heard was boo. And I'm like, are they really booing us? I think the offense went like 2 3-and-outs, and that's when it's coming. 2 3-and-outs, and you definitely getting a boo.
Yeah, of course. I try to explain to people that it is out of love.
Yeah, it's all out
we're
of love.
that invested that our boos are motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
because you've been in stadiums, I'm sure, where it's just.
Yeah, everything is just level, but not in the link. Like I said, 2 3-and-outs, you getting a boo.